back to Yoga with Sarah Ford. In this week in our beginners series, we are going to be covering halfway lift. And so this is another hamstring stretch activation, and we get into it from our forward fold. So from last week's video, we're going to get into forward fold. Just bending our knees, hinging from the hips, and allowing our upper torso to give into gravity here. And so from here, we move into halfway lift. First, thinking about the weight on our feet, so where our weight's distributed. We don't want to be too far on our toes or too far back on our heels. We want an equal placement here. And then on an inhale, we're going to engage our core and lift from the hips so that our spine is parallel to the mat. And this is our halfway lift because we're halfway from the ground and standing up. So we're here thinking about our feet weight, making sure that's placed correctly. There's a little bit of an activation here, so a small hamstring stretch and more activation in the legs. And depending on our flexibility, our hands can be placed in various ways depending on what fits for you. So for some people, having your hands on your ground for this halfway lift feels great. Other people can place their hands on their shins or on your hips. The most important part is thinking about this activation and imagining energy going out the top of your head in one direction and out the base of your spine in the other direction. So there's an activation of our legs are holding us up, and then this energy is going out in a different way. So it seems like a simple pose, but there's a lot of activation going on here. And then we want to think about, just to take it another step further, is thinking about our spine, and if we put a plate or a dish on here, would it fall off or not? So having this core engagement, your hands can be placed where you'd like, and to test out this, the flatness of your back, you can cactus your arms just to kind of help with that engagement, and that engages your shoulder, and it's a little bit more active. And then to get out of this pose, we just exhale and release back to the forward fold. So that is halfway lift. It's a nice little activation and a great way to add to our forward fold. Adds some nice gentle movement, and you can move between those two positions as much as you'd like, and that helps warm up the hamstrings and the spine. So thank you for joining me this week. I will see you again next week with a new pose. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at Yoga with Sarah Ford. My online yoga classes are in the description below. And I'll see you next week. Namaste.